and just welcome everybody to Roll For It, which is us. We are a bite-sized D&D podcast. Each episode, the cast would roll a D100 to decide which monster on our list they'd be encountering. We did have Sean roll this week, by the way, and Sean rolled a 54. Whoa! So good luck with whatever the 54 is. The episodes that are on our podcasting sites, wherever you listen to podcasts, are all less than an hour long. They have music, sound effects, and they have really talented actors like the ones you have here in front of you, and as well as two other casts, a season 2 cast and a season 3 cast, all different stories but all set in the same universe. Each of our first 3 seasons introduced us to a new trio. Today we are continuing the story of the Valor Knights from season 1 live. I'm Jake. I'm the Dungeon Master, welcoming back original cast members Amy and Kyle, and welcoming back for the third time our beloved guest Sean.
Hello.
Can each of you tell us a fun fact about your character? No.
Oh, Fessineer isn't fun. He doesn't believe in fun. He's got work to do.
Okay. Okay. I guess that can count. That can count, Sean. You're new here. That can count. That's
How about this fun fact? Mumps only wears shoes with Velcro because he never learned how to tie laces.
true. I remember that.
I made that up and now it's canon. So there we go.
On your initial backstory shoot.
Do his shoes light up when he walks? There's like magic fairy fire.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome. Once again, Vess would never, ever admit that to you, Grace. Ever. Never.
My fun fact is that sometimes Havilar still thinks about when she first threw a javelin in the direction of Mumps, where like he could be hit. And she just, thinks about what would have happened if he was hit. And, where would life have taken her and Vailette? What would have become of the Feywild? We'll never know, but
yeah,
sometimes it still haunts.
Yeah. Awesome. Fun fact about me is
do you need a bodyguard, Mumps? I'm a little concerned about you.
I just caught a legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Diamond Edition on Nintendo DS, which I recently fired up.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked.
Wait, I want a fun fact about Ninny Bobbin because it's supposed to be about a character, not you.
Yeah.
Want to right. Ninny Bobbin lore.
A fun fact about Ninny Bobbin is that after he was brutally beaten by the rest of the guards in a riot that was caused by Havilar and Mumps. I feel like mostly Mumps.
Indirectly, though. I just told that guard to fire Nitty Bobbin, and there was a whole riot. So that's on them. My instructions were very clear. Fire him.
After that, he actually received like a "we're sorry" promotion, and that's why he's a little bit higher in rank than he was last time when we last met Nitty Bobbin.
Yeah. The please don't sue me promotion.
Exactly. And Vailette feels particularly bad for him as well. But
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right. Also want to say welcome to everybody in the chat. Thank you all, past, present, and future Roll For It listeners, for watching and listening. And send us any questions. Say hi to Kelsey. And if you want the full backstory of how we came to be, then you can check out our previous episodes on Twitch, and you can also check out like our previous episodes, a lot of them, on Spotify, etc. Podcast places. I don't know because I've actually never listened to a podcast, but I hear they're easy to find.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Can confirm.
Yeah. In fact, you can even do a little. I think I fixed it so I can do ! pod. Oh no. I'm not logged into Twitch, so I can't do that. But apart from not knowing Twitch and not knowing podcasts, we're a really great Twitch stream and podcasts, and I'm gonna resume now with our recap. You guys ready?
Ready.
To find out what happened previously On roll for it. Cher Violet Valinaire reinstated the Valor Knights, enlisting her dearest friends, Mumps and Havalar, to travel to the Feywild and retake the former home of her distant relatives from a terrible threat. To Havalar's utmost horror, Violet put her cousin Vesemir in charge of this mission. Ves is a druid from the other side of the Fey who has witnessed the threat firsthand as it chased his people out of their homes and through a portal into the regular world or the middle plane. Unfortunately, the interplanar travel has somehow modified Ves and his people's memories to remove all traces of exactly what tormented them on the other side of the portal. Our three Valor Knights have secured the mysterious, invisible fifth tower of Castle Villahara as a starting point for their mission, hoping to use its portal magic to reach the Feywild and destroy the threat before it grows even more threatening. And that's where we are, as you guys have just defeated the fifth tower's horrifying guardian, a skittering horror, and reached the extraordinary room at the top of the 140-foot spiral staircase.
Quite a sight.
A lot of stairs so far in the day, and we're going right back. So any spell slots that you have used are currently still been used. It's a little different than the podcasts that we were used to. But thankfully, I don't think people got hurt too bad. That you kind of annihilated that scary thingy.
Yeah,
Can we just nap in this room?
Potentially, yeah. You look around in the room. The room you enter is dome-like, though the ceiling comes to a point about 60 feet above. Bright light shines in from behind the three of you as two 10-foot wide windows extend from the floor itself, allowing somebody to stand on the glass and look down all the way to the floor. All the way to the ceiling, the glass is all the way from the floor to the ceiling. It's tall, big window. Though magically sealed from the elements, this room is not completely silent like the rest of the tower. Instead, there's a faint, gentle hum coming from hundreds of levitating shapes above you. The shapes are mostly flat, like picture frames, of a wide variety of shapes and sizes, from large door-like rectangles to halfling-sized ovals and smaller. These odd shapes, many of which are glowing ever so slightly with various colors. Based on what Ves's mother told him about this tower, you can assume that each of these unique floating shapes is a portal to its own mysterious destination. But the ceiling dome is not the only interesting thing in the room. It might be most interesting, that's subjective. To your left, against the tower wall when you walk up the stairs, is a large desk littered with papers and instruments of writing, measuring, and gods know what else. A single chair takes up only a portion of the width of the desk, above which a 20-foot tall chalkboard curves around the wall and expands over waist-high bookshelves on either side of the desk. The desk work area is on your left, but the other dominating feature of the room is on your right. It's a strange gold metallic device on a slightly raised floor. It looks like two thin golden bookends. And 10 feet away from it, towards you, is a heavy-looking gold metallic lever with intricate gears connecting to the floor. The top of the lever comes to a slightly wider platform with an inverted round surface. Big lever, big surface. Finally, there is a lounge chair and accompanying end table positioned just over one of the giant windows behind you. And there is also, near that, between the two giant windows, a king-sized bed and standing wardrobe.
Perfect. Rest.
You really think this is the time to
Havilar
take
immediately. Oh no. Yes, Ves, were you speaking? As Havilar walks to the armchair.
I really don't believe this is the time to be nap. Oh, I see you've already. All right then. I suppose I will check these papers on this desk and see what I can find out about this room.
There's one thing we've learned on our adventures. It's that you can't put sleep off to the side. You know, you got to take your naps when you can. You know, V-Dog, you know what we're talking about?
I just really don't. What did you just? Call? Never mind. Tries to recover from the nickname, and then I just really don't believe this is the time to be napping. We really should be pressing forward and trying to find the portal.
As Bessener
One
says that,
small rest.
Oh.
One small rest.
as Bessener says that, Durbin like sits there and Mumps is all
Oh,
cuddled
yeah.
up against the fur on the side, and you just hear,
Best.
Where are you
best.
guys? Where are you two falling asleep, Durbin and Mumps? Just right on the floor.
just like maybe Durbin's leaning against the desk and I'm leaning against Durbin.
Okay, sounds good.
Vest. Vest. Vest.
Yes, Havilar.
Get
My
it?
name is
It's a
Vesemir.
small.
Why the-
It's a small rest. Get it? And I'm pointing. I'm pointing to Mumps. It's a small rest.
Yes,
And
I see.
And I was talking over you a little bit there. What were you saying else?
My name is Vesemir. I'm not sure if you quite caught my full name, but yes, it is a Vesemir.
All right, I got it. Vest. Sneer.
Very well then. And turns towards the papers, trying to conceal his dismay. Kind of leans down and scratches Durbin behind the ears while he searches the
Sure.
papers on the desk.
Are the
And
two of
reads
you
them
gonna be
cupboard.
taking a short rest? Is that the plan?
I think we should take a short rest. Vesemir seems like
Yeah.
he's, I don't know. But Vess has special sleeping powers, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
Only for a long rest, but I was wondering if casually reading through the desk would be considered something that would be leisurely enough to still get
I think
the
if you're
benefits of a short rest.
we'll see, because we'll see how leisurely the reading becomes as we go.
Okay.
But the two of you can certainly kick back and relax and look out these giant windows, whatever you want to do. So some time starts to pass and during this time, I think Havilar, you're the only one who's been like attacked. So if you'd like to spend your hit dice to recuperate, you can do so.
Mm-hmm.
And Vesemir, let's go ahead and make an investigation or an arcana check as you scramble through these papers on the desk.
All right, I'm gonna go make an investigation check, and that is a nat 1. Love that.
All right,
Turns out to be a 3. Yes.
so it's definitely I don't want to say it's not an exciting task, but it's more frustrating than anything as you try and piece together just what kind of organization system this person was working with here.
Doesn't make any sense. This
The
is
desk-
madness.
Yeah, the workbench is littered with different tomes and loose leaf papers, and it takes you a long time and a lot of concentration to sort things out enough that you realize, okay, well, these are books that have been written, okay, and these are books in progress, and these are full tomes of papers that were filled out by hand by whoever was working at this desk last. Basically, you make your own little piles, while the others kind of snore away
Well, now
right
that
beneath
things
you.
are organized, perhaps I can figure something out. This was my intention all along. Yes.
Sure.
Definitely.
And then, and you guys are all welcome to participate as much as you like, as long as you're not, punching anything. It's still part of your rest. So if you'd like to butt in or check out any other areas of the room, let me know.
Yeah, can Mumps, just based on what he knows from stories, can he just like poke around the desk with an investigation check, maybe see if there's any hidden compartments, secret buttons, all the tropes?
Sure. Especially because you're like sitting back against it and you kind of wake up for a little bit and your head's just like looking right at it.
I imagine Mumps would accidentally like be pushing a switch with his head, like.
Maybe if I rolled higher, I got a
Right.
10.
You got a 10. So you don't find any secret compartments on the desk. It's definitely a very nice piece of. It's almost a piece of art in itself, and seems to be protected against the elements because of how ancient and yet how fine it looks. And that's just investigating the desk itself. And as you glance up at the nice, neatly placed piles that Vesnir has struggled with, you guys see, basically the both of you see that many of the tomes on the desk are scientific and magical studies on travel between worlds, both natural and man-made. Others contain hundreds of handwritten pages which define the locations and magical coordinates of thousands of portals in the material plane, the Feywild, and some planes that you've never heard of. As you shuffle through the papers, Vess, you catch a glimpse of shiny gold. A tiny pair of scissors is set on the table, barely large enough, probably for Havilar to even pick up. But to Mumps, it would still feel petite, like a little small-bladed sewing scissors. But little small-blading sewing scissors.
And in the description, you said that there was something connected by a string.
Ooh, did I say string?
I'm not sure. So, I'm trying to just remember the description, so never mind. Forget I said anything.
Oh, you're talking about the scissors?
Just trying to recall back to the things that you were describing around the room, but never mind.
Okay. There's the chalkboard above, bookshelves to your left and right, and the workbench that you're sorting through.
And does this chalkboard have any writing on it? Is this like
It
a Goodwill
sure
Hunting
does.
situation? We have to
Oh,
figure out
yeah.
what's on the board. or
It's a
like-
Goodwill Hunting situation for sure. It's there's weird symbols. You let's have another investigation check from you, Mumps, or intelligence.
Oh, should I do intelligence or investigation? Which one am I going here?
Let's do intelligence.
I was also looking at the chalkboard. Should I make another investigation?
Yeah.
check? All right.
Let's do
See
intelligence
if this
from
is a
both
little
of
bit
you.
better. Oh, God, and that's a nat too. Love that. All right. Vesnir is too distracted by all the snoring that's going on. It's just driving him crazy.
Yeah.
Can't focus.
I got an 8.
Okay.
Intelligence is not my strong suit.
So, and not only that, but it's really frantic scribbles. So the drawings and formulas on the chalkboard are almost unintelligible, but you can tell, Mumps, through the drawings and such, the work has something to do with portal travel and includes equations meant to predict the coordinates of portals that don't exist yet or have not yet been recorded.
Ooh, it's pretty cool.
You guys work that out together over the course of 20 minutes or so. As you stare. As you just stare up at this giant chalkboard. And like your heads keep tilting more and more.
And I notice them whispering amongst themselves, and I'm feeling left out. So I have to also go and check to see what's going on. So I get up and I walk over, and I will roll a. Do I have to do investigation? Yeah, I guess
Intelligence.
that's like the only thing I can.
No one in this
Oh,
group is good at intelligence.
Oh.
It's not the intelligent party. It's the party.
Valor.
6.
There's no intelligence but valor.
A 6. So now
Do not
we cut to a wide of the three of you all just looking up at this chalkboard, and we like zoom back, and there's just like all this rotating, amazing looking magical stuff in the room, and the three of you are just like, huh.
And I knew I should have taken a foreign language in high school because that would have been really helpful right now.
Do you guys want to, if you want to spend another 10 minutes looking at the chalkboard, I'll give each of you another roll as you basically take advantage on this check.
I want to investigate the bookshelf instead.
Sure.
I literally just got another nat 1. Love that.
Oh my god. Getting them out of the way.
Yeah.
I got a
Vest-
13.
Vesanir is done with books. Vesanir honestly goes over to the armchair and tries not to have a temper. Has like a pout.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to say you fall asleep. I want to see you're
Yeah.
like, we don't need time. We don't need a rest. This is, and then you like
yeah.
take an angry nap.
like a frustrated dad, just like
One book, you throw one book across the room.
yeah. This is foolish.
Havalar, you sort through the bookshelves. Nothing. What'd you roll there for me?
You were right in that I found nothing. It was a 2.
Well, nothing seems to be out of place. A lot of heavy tomes and a lot of different languages. But
I start weightlifting in the heavy tomes instead.
Sure. You do so. Everybody takes a little short. It's just a short rest, you know. It's just for fun. We're all just hanging out. Mumps.
I rolled a 13 on that board re-roll.
All right. You've been looking at this board for long enough. Suddenly, something clicks to you. The writer is focusing. Most of the board is. You're like, wait a second. All this board was not even really that thing. It's all connected to this other equation, which takes up most of it, where they're focusing on interplanetary travel via portal magic. And the writer is defining D as distortion of time, which occurs to some extent on travel to and from the Feywild. You guys are familiar with this because you time traveled the first time you came through the Feywild back into the material plane, and then later found Castle Viahara had been there for 2 years longer than you had.
Yeah, an accurate description. Mumps has gotten the D before.
Yeah. So you're thinking about the D
That's just
extensively. And but you can see that the equation is attempting to learn more but hasn't about how this D works. In the meantime, as the rest of you explore the area, go ahead, Avalar. You had a thought or a breath.
Do we know any smart people?
You want Durbin to check?
I was gonna say driven.
He's usually pretty insightful.
Make an intelligence for Durbin, Mumps, as he reads the board, too.
Perhaps we could figure out the nuts and bolts of this. Suppose D's nuts and bolts,
Hey.
so to speak.
He got a 7.
Okay.
Oh God.
He's looking up at the chalkboard as well. The scissors, however, Mumps, with your 13, as you're kind of just looking up at the chalkboard and fiddling, you find yourself touching these scissors, and they feel really warm and fuzzy.
What?
I'd like him to just pick him up with his little fingers and start snipping, because
I forgot my fidget spinner. This is gonna come in handy.
The first time you snip, there's a very scary flash of purple light that comes from the blade, like a quick burst, and then as you look at it, you pull your hand away with the scissors, and there's like a little teeny, almost like a cut right in space of purple, and it wiggles and it stays there for a minute, and then it dissipates away after about a couple
Mortal
seconds.
scissors.
I think I broke the space time.
Maybe. The scissors are, as you look at them, you see a barely noticeable purple light streak across the blade, and you also notice some elvish writing just over the handle. The largest letters on the teeny tiny scissors read Nivel. Which,
Hey, V-Man, you read Elvish, right?
Are you referring to me, Mumps?
Yeah, well, I'm not referring to Havilar. I thought that was pretty obvious. Sorry.
She does have a V. Yes, very well. I'll come read the scissors, and stands up and goes over and reads the writing on the scissors.
all right, the words that you can make out, teeny tiny, Nivel. It is elvish for, roughly translates to short cut.
Ah, it's a shortcut.
Yeah, they're small
Maybe.
scissors. We get it.
The rest of the script, you do see there's more lettering. It's too small for the naked eye to read and would require a magnifying lens, which luckily you have seen on the desk because you sorted everything out into its own little piles.
Excellent. Yes. I knew this would happen, and I prepared for this occasion. Yes, definitely. And
Okay.
I grab the magnifying glass and I hold it up to the scissors to read the text.
You're basically looking at an instruction book on these scissors, and it's going to take you a while to get through them because they do
Let me just read the manual, guys. I'm just gonna read the manual. Let me just.
In the
Manual
meantime,
is on the scissors.
yeah, there's little teeny tiny microscopic elvish lettering
Whoa.
right beneath.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent but impractical craftsmanship.
Yes.
Naturally, my people make fine work. Of course, it just kind of keeps reading.
What else?
Top.
What else are we doing here? In
I
Portal
want to know
Land.
what's on the scissors. Maybe it's a short cut to our goal if we use it the right way.
Maybe.
I mean, they're
Best near
scissors. You
to
can kind of
size.
only use them one way, right? You can only cut with them.
I don't know. There's sparking purple sparks and cutting weird slices in time and space, maybe. Just saying.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That tracks.
Can I pull the lever?
You touch the lever. Do you want to make a strength check for me? Are you going full
Ooh.
strength, or are you just like starting it and seeing if it moves?
First, I would like to see if I can tell if, like, make an investigation check to see if there's any obvious reason I shouldn't pull the lever.
She says after she says, "Could I pull the lever?"
Vesnir says, "Wait."
I want
How?
to say you definitely touched it. You definitely checked, and it didn't move. And then you're gonna make this
Okay.
investigation check. You haven't been shocked
Okay.
or anything.
Well, it was a 3. So I feel pretty good that it's safe.
Yeah. You don't see any buttons. It just seems like maybe it's stuck, I guess.
That's it. Okay, but do I get to roll my strength check now to see if I can pull the lever?
If you wish to, yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, both these dice have really been gnarly. Which one should I use?
Everybody's dice have been pretty insane for this, like, check what's in the room experience. For everybody.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. All right. So what happens when you pull the lever? There's a loud cranking noise as you jerk the lever into a lowered position. The gears on the lever itself turn frantically, and a few sparks shower out of it. The portals above begin to speed up in their rotation around the ceiling, and a concerning grinding sound comes from the floor beneath the lever. As it
Havilar,
slowly,
what have you done?
as it slowly,
The lever! It's supposed to be pulled!
the lever slowly lifts itself back into starting position, as if dragging on stone. The grinding noise continues. Otherwise,
Is anything else moving, like the stairs or the walls closing in? Is the tower scrunching down?
no. I guess one more thing that would be affected are the two little golden bookends that I described that are near this lever.
Mhm.
As you're kind of closer to it now, you see that they don't appear solid, and you can tell that because once you pulled the lever, they started kind of shaking, almost like a liquidy thing. And they're fluctuating ever so slightly. Can you make a perception check for me?
18.
Beautiful. So you realize that definitely it's connected to the lever, and also once the lever is back in position and it starts to steady out, and the portals up above start to slow back down to their original pace, let's call them, okay, the gold things, the bookends, seem to fluctuate based on what portal is levitating over it at the time. Almost as if it's reshaping itself to better hold that portal in place if that portal were to come down and attach itself to these golden arms.
Are the portals
think-
just floating in midair?
Yeah, they're floating in midair, mostly up towards the ceiling. The lowest of which I bet would probably be about 15 feet above the floor.
Got it. Okay, so we can't just. Okay, got it.
So, but none of them are floating down
None of
to
them are
like
floating.
settle in between. Because it looks like we got to pull this lever to get a portal down. Maybe.
Like we gotta
Yeah.
get it in the bookends. It's like a Monsters Inc. situation. We have to get it in the thing for the little light to go ping, and then we can go through.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the lever, now that you've been messing with it, there's not a physical button or a switch that seems like it could unlock it, but the surface itself is like this inverted spherical shape, and you think that there's some kind of a hum that magic from something placed would activate the lever.
Where's that globe we found downstairs? Didn't we get like a globe?
Yeah,
it
we
clinked out.
We left it at the
Vestineer pulls it
bottom.
out of his pack. Yes, this
Oh.
is. Should I place this in the deep depression?
Couldn't
Okey-dokey.
hurt.
I think it's worth a shot.
All
Vestineer
right.
carefully kind of holds position and carefully places it on the concave surface.
Okay, so you place the golden globe on the lever. It seems to lock into place half an inch above the surface of the lever, levitating like it did in the hand of the Bad King's statue below. As your hand nears the orb, both the orb and your hand glow with a warm light, and you feel a connection to the device, as if it's asking you where you want to go.
Vestineer kind of feels his people and their grief and the trust that they placed in him to go out and do this, and he kind of sends out that feeling of that location of like where he last left that portal.
Okay. So you're seeking a portal. Can you describe it for the audience, I guess? Or
Yes.
for me?
So he remembers this bright shining lake, Silver Lake, that he had to enter in order to reach the middle planes.
Okay.
And he pictures that lake in his mind.
Okay, gotcha. So, as you do so, you visualize the place, and the golden globe rotates rapidly before showing you an outline of that region, like a little map right in your grip. And there are a few thin columns of light sticking out from among the landscape, like thumbtacks. And you realize that these are magical passages that you have access to using this device and the floating portals above. You also notice that you can't actually choose the silver light portal. And because of this understanding that you have just by touching this machine, you know that it's because that portal is not man-made and thus can only be accessed by more ancient means. However,
sorry.
yeah, but there are some portals nearby that you could use to get there, if that's the goal.
All right, Vestineer kind of, there's been a bump in the road to our victory, fellow Knights of Valor. Seems that the portal that I came through is not accessible via this device. We'll have to find another way. There are 2 more portals here, though, that we can use.
You got all that just from hugging that ball for 5 minutes? Oh, wow. We thought you were losing your mind. You were staring at that thing for so long. Oh,
It has been a little while. Yeah.
Avalar. Oh, he's okay. This is wild.
This hair just kind of like, like fizzed up a little bit, like little golden streaks through it once in a while.
Bumps, you worry too much. Of course, he's fine. Look at him. He's glowing, literally.
He's like the vegan in Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
So, Vesemir, do you know anything about the other portals? Which one should we go to? Should we just
So
leave it up to fate?
What
50
do I know
50
about the
it?
other portals?
so these are not portals that you. So these are portals on the middle plane, Vess. You're unfamiliar with this area. However, you guys can actually see over Vess's shoulder if you want to, like a map of that region that Vess is looking at. And
If
I
they
don't
would
know
bother
if
to get up,
Mumps.
obviously.
Yeah, I don't
don't
know
know
if
if
Mumps
Havilar
would
wants to do that.
recognize it, but Havillard, you do recognize that region. You have been to Silverlight before. Let me share a little bit of a blurb for the Twitch audience because I have like the little info blurbs. So give me a second here. And while I'm at it, I just want to say to our listeners, to our viewers, help us out by giving us a follow if you haven't. We're trying to get to our goal here. Our goal is to give Mumpsy Boy a follow. And we've got a couple of weeks. We're going to try to get to 150. So if you're listening, if you know, don't hate us.
If we get one follower every day,
Yeah, that's
we're
plenty of
good.
time.
Done.
Look at that.
All right, and let me just pull this up. So location. There we go. Wow, thank you, True Sketch, for the subscription.
Thank you. Thank you.
Woohoo.
All right. See, I should interrupt the story a lot more often, I feel like. Just cut right in the middle.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm lost here. So I showed the fifth tower thing, which is where we are currently in the fifth tower. Now, the Silverlight Lake is... I have a description of it here. The region is named for the lake on the edge of the forest. It's nearly always coated in a layer of mist, and its surface is said to be unnaturally reflective, like a pool of mercury. Wildlife there is rich, and creatures from both the Feywild and the material plane are often spotted drinking from the water. The portal is well known to people of the Fey, and not much of a secret in this plane either, but non-magic users don't have much use for it, as the mysterious, naturally formed portal is not as precise as one built by a wizard. Excuse me. The water itself, or possibly even the mist, has been known to transport creatures between the two planes, sometimes unwillingly. Havilar, you vaguely remember gazing into this pool of water shortly after escaping the city of Tribor as a Wean.
Yes, yes. It's all
And-
coming back to me now.
And the mists here carried you into the Feywild, where you were found and taken in by the Valinair family. Silverlight is also nearby the city of Tribor, as I mentioned, and the region that you're looking at is just about where you first came into the material plane with Mumps and Violette, just about a year ago.
Very interesting.
So, to answer the question from 5 minutes ago, you don't really know anything about these portals except that Havilar and Mumps, you've come through one of them a long time ago, a year ago.
We don't know anything about the other two portals, other than the one by Silverlight.
Right. Yeah. The
Okay.
nearest one to Silverlight.
Is inaccessible. Okay.
No. Silverlight itself isn't accessible. The nearest portal to Silverlight is what I'm describing, which
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Mumps and Havilar have come through in the past.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to crawl back to that tree's mouth, is what I'm getting at.
I remember a long, long journey up a rope or down a rope, both ways, where I was doing a lot of heavy lifting and without a lot of help. So, gotta do what you
Yeah.
gotta do, Guess we gotta go back to the tree.
Well,
Vesemir puts a hand on Havilar's shoulder, but you are not alone this time, Havilar. We will conquer
That's
this
right.
together.
You're here. You have something like strength too.
Yes, let's go with that.
So, Vesemir, you feel like you can just attach to that portal if you want to.
Okay. I
Are
I
we
guess
done with the room?
right. That's a good question. Is there anything else that anyone needs to get done
tried.
in here? Did you finish your nap, Havilar?
I finished it. It's
Yeah,
pretty. I feel
it's been about an hour.
rejuvenated. I looked at the bookshelves, but I rolled really bad, so I didn't find anything. But that's the only other thing that we didn't really look at. I don't know if there's a book that would help that we could look for specifically.
There's one book in the next to the lounge chair, like the one that was most recently read on the little end table, and it's called "How to Enslave Friends and
Influence people.
and Tirade Over People." Yeah. Um,
It's not a very nice book.
But
And-
very informative.
Mumps has read the whole thing.
Says Mumps darkly.
I've already been doing so many of these things.
I guess did we get instructions from the scissors? Did we finish the reading?
Yeah.
The required reading?
So the bare minimum of the scissors reading that you have done, Vess, it's basically, to sum it up, the scissors are a way back to the fifth tower. They're like a recall device.
Oh.
So
Okay.
you can get to almost anywhere from the tower, and you can get back to the tower with the scissors.
So yeah, I definitely pocket them for use later. I mean, obviously he wants to give it to Havlar and Mumps, but he might be a little still not as trusting and maybe worried that they might try to leave early. So I think he might want to he pockets the scissors.
Okay.
Yes, this should help us later on our travels. It seems to be some kind of thing for the portal. I haven't quite figured out yet. There's a lot of reading to be done. Also, I guess I'll take the magnifying glass as well.
Sure. See, that's a master move just then. Did you guys catch that? Because I would have never taken the magnifying glass as well. Never in a million years would I have thought, oh, I need to finish reading this thing. I should bring the thing that I need to read the thing.
I mean, I think we got enough to go on. You know, we snip, we crawl through. It's a very easy to follow his dark materials kind of thing. You slice the knife, you go through the portal.
I don't believe we need to enter these portals, but we'll see.
We shall see.
What
We shall see
happens?
what we need later.
Well, we'll test the knife when we want to come back. Because what happens right now if we just keep snipping it in the air? Vesemir, do it.
Do it. Do it. I got to know.
Isn't that what Mumps was doing earlier? He was snipping?
Yeah,
I
just
remember
kinda
one
sit
Yeah.
in place.
Just like
Yeah.
one little one.
I was like fidget snipping it.
Oh, okay. So is it more like he was like fidgeting and it was like sparking? It wasn't
No,
like
He was
Mumps
returning
did.
to that same spot.
Mumps made a couple little cuts, and it is kind of like what the two of you are describing. Like it cut a little slice into midair, which then dissipated.
I really think we do need to press on. This is now we figured out the portal. I think we should really try to use
Vesemir.
this device.
So
so
pushy.
pushy.
Yeah, jeez.
Jinx, Mom. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's
Vesemir
Do we
just
spend
too much time together.
finish each other's?
Sandwiches.
Yeah. I was going to say sentences, but it's close enough. I do like sandwiches.
I don't want to. I don't want to finish your sentences. I want to finish your sandwiches. You make such great sandwiches, but you never share.
I want to finish my own sandwiches, Mumps. You're always taking my sandwiches before I can even finish them, and your little hands come up they grab the
Tiny
sandwich.
hands.
I'm
And
a
I go
growing
and
boy.
grab it, and
I
it's
need
not there.
sandwiches.
Bessier just looks over at Mumps like a does this happen all the time kind of look.
Yeah, and I want more sandwiches, and I can never get enough sandwiches because Havlar eats all the good stuff before it even gets to the rest of us.
This is
We
probably making
will-
Mumps want a sandwich really bad. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
find some sandwiches once we go through the portal, so we have to pick a way to go. And I say, wait.
Do any
'Cause
of these
there's
locations
two
look familiar to
options.
either of you?
Well, one does. One we may have frequented
There's
in the past.
there are a lot of
see.
options because there's a lot of mapped portals, but the nearest one is the one that you've been to in the past, and then there's maybe one or two others a few more miles away from Silverlight. Does that make sense?
This is a time-sensitive mission, is it?
Yes. My people.
Well, then I think we gotta go to the closest one. Even it's one we've been to before. Perhaps we'll be more
Knowledgeable
aware
about
of
the
the
environment.
problems that may
And-
come.
If we have any questions about portal hopping, maybe the tree has some answers. It was a very wise tree.
What tree?
Indeed.
To which tree are you referring?
The talking one. I mean, it's the only talking tree I know. Do you know more talking trees?
I've met a few, but this one seems quite interesting. I'd like to hear more about it.
Ugh, that's a really long story. You'd probably have to go back to
You'll have
season
to-
1,
yeah.
episode
To
7 or 8 to
watch
get
the
there. Yeah.
podcast.
And so we go over all of that with Vesenir very quickly. The rundown of the time that we spent
Okay.
in the tree.
It's
Perfect.
like a little
I have
flashback montage.
I have a little blurb for that. Let's
Oh,
throw that
yay.
up there. And do you press on as you said? In season 1, Mumps, Hava, and Vaylette rescued an awakened tree from a fiery group of bandits. Mr. Tree's mouth became a portal which carried them between planes. That's all. That's the recap.
Mr. Tree.
Mm.
Sounds like a fine fellow. I'm glad
Mr.
you
Tree
were.
is his name. Yes.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
It's at least it's at least what you three called Mr. Tree. I don't think you asked his name.
I imagine
sounds
that
very on
in the
brand.
retelling that's what you would refer to him as. And Vesenir just thinks, oh yes,
Oh,
that's
Mr.
definitely his
Tree.
name. Definitely.
And then, of course, Vesenir, I'm sure we'll have a nice conversation with the tree and be very embarrassed to discover that that is
Yeah.
not the tree's name.
Oh, your name isn't.
Well, thank you,
oh,
Mr. Tree.
I'm
Oh.
horrified.
Oh, wow.
Horrified. Just
Wow.
Mr. Tree is my father.
Mr. Tree is my father.
Uh,
Please call me Spruce.
I listened to that episode recently, and I actually did make that same joke. The Mr. Tree is my father joke.
Uh,
It's a good one.
Low
good one.
hanging fruit.
I don't know.
Because it's a tree.
Bruce Tree.
All right, let's press
Tree,
on.
folks. Yes. to
Vess,
the
as
tree.
the others
I think.
talk about sandwiches,
Onwards to Mr. Tree.
you decide on
Mr.
a destination,
Spruce Spring Tree.
and you feel the lever unlock. When you pull it down towards you, the portal that you need slowly sinks from the ceiling into place between the golden fixings in front of you. Unfortunately, that's not true. Missed that part. No, that is true. The word unfortunately is not true. My bad. The portal comes down. All right. The frame is a dark, twisted wood, natural wood, rounded at the top like the shape of a great oak door. A shimmering green light glows from within. The portal will remain open for a few minutes, and you can take the orb with you, or you can leave it here and the portal will be open indefinitely. You're not actually sure how that would work.
Could I make an Arcana check to try and find out how it would work?
Yes.
As I kind of see what's the levers and what's going on, and I've got some required reading. Oh my god, I am not even joking. I got another nat one. I am not even joking. Bessie does not like devices. He does not like required reading. This is not his forte.
You feel like you have 3 seconds to get through this portal, or you're done for.
We have to. It is time. It's time to go, guys. Let's go. Vesnir Knights, the Valor Knights of Valor. Onward.
All right, Durbin, you
Goes to the
first.
portal.
Durbin hops through.
Let's
Mums
go,
hops
Durbin.
through.
Avalar hops through. Did we take the sphere with us?
Uh-oh.
I didn't. Durbin didn't.
I feel like he would have, but with the nat 1, I'm going to say he left it behind.
Okay. Left it behind.
Yep. I rolled
Um,
once. What happens?
If we forget it, we can always use the scissors to get back.
you can always use
Did
the
we get
shortcut.
The shortcut. Back home.
You step through the green light and lose control of motor functions momentarily as you feel weightless, off balance, and a little queasy as your body is teleported through space.
I thought the drugs would have worn off by now.
Moments later, you feel your foot step on solid ground, and you are through the portal, feeling completely normal. You are in the misty forest on a cloudy day. The tall green spruce trees remind you of when you first stepped into this plane just over a year ago. And you hear a voice from behind you where you just stepped through. I recognize you.
Mr. Tree! Mums gives the tree a big hug with his tiny arms.
For
The-
the
Good
first
to see you.
The tree
For the
allows
first-
it.
For the first time, Vesnir looks like at ease and relaxed, like this is back in his home plane. He looks, yes, Mr. Tree, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And yours.
I am Vesenir Valinair, leader of the Valor Knights of Valor.
If the tree could nod, it would nod. Instead, it
Behind Vesenir. Oh, sorry.
no, I
I
don't.
really, really want to say this. Behind Vesenir, as he's speaking and says like he's the leader, I like air quotes
Yes.
leader in the back. So the tree and I go way back. We understand each other. I'm sure.
Yes, the portal that you stepped through was the mouth of the magical face carved into the side of the tree. This is an awakened tree with portal magic you've met before. And he asks if you are you seeking a way back into the Feywild?
Wow, a talking tree and a mind reader.
When we
Yes,
last
that is
met.
what we seek.
That's where you came from. People often return in life. That's the end of that.
The saying was wrong. You can go home again. Ugh.
We ask the tree about your people, Vesenir.
Yes,
It's a very wise tree.
he kind of, as much as can summarize to Mr. Tree and kind of talks about what's going on and asks if he has any information about potentially his people or what could have happened, considering that his memory is not where he wants it to be.
I have not been able to see into the Feywild in many months. Something clouds my vision.
I know a good ophthalmologist if you need those cataracts taken out.
It is not my eyeballs.
Oh,
That are clouded, but the realm of the elven lands. In fact, all portals, man-made portals such as me, are closed off into the Feywild.
What? What are you talking about? Why? And you see Vesnir is definitely losing his cool at this point.
There are only 3 openings currently. The 3 ancient lakes, portals that existed perhaps before time itself. One one of which is nearby. Lucky for
Oh, that
the three of you.
We know that one.
The others are hidden.
Nearby, like a brisk walk nearby, or nearby, like a week on Durban back nearby.
Yes, how far away
3 years travel. If
Wait,
you
what?
if
Three-
you are a tree, it takes 3 years
Oh,
to reach silver light.
and on
How
halfling
fast-
legs? Yeah.
I really don't know.
How fast would you say a tree moves, say, per hour?
What is the average
Not
traveling
very.
velocity of a spruce your size? Yeah.
Oh, it must be close. It is close. We've been to this. I've been to
Less-
this lake before.
Less than a day if you know the way.
I feel like because Vesenir, often can, he's got some like a tree connection. He's a staff after all, can turn him into a tree. Would Vesenir be able to translate the or convert
tree!
the
The tree rate.
the tree rate? Yeah, yeah. Or maybe I could have
I
kind of
think.
advantage on a check.
Yeah, let's do. Well, I don't even want to make you roll because you're gonna roll a 1 and a 2.
I know, right? My God.
No, you have advantage on tree speed. You know you're familiar with tree speed.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do this. I
So-
believe in you, dice. You can do this. Okay. That's a 15. All right,
Okay.
all right. So far, so good.
Yeah.
And 12. All right. So within my nature, that is going to be. It's a 21.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, it's gonna be probably 3-4 hours walk.
Okay.
With
Don't
legs.
worry, all. This is a mere a few hours of brisk travel. We should get there in no time.
Cool. So it is.
Do we know which direction to go in? Would I remember that? Would I know?
You can make an intelligence check or a nature or a survival check. Follow your heart.
I'll follow the highest bonus I have.
That's your heart.
It's no good. It's a 7.
Roughly. It's not that way. Probably. It's probably not that
Not-
particular way.
Not back through the portal. I know that we don't go into the tree. We go outside in a direction.
Okay. Okay, that's
But I
helpful.
can't
That's helpful.
quite remember much beyond that.
The Mr.
maybe-
Tree can point you the way.
Oh, good.
And
If
one
you
of
are able
his-
to point the way, I am quite familiar with, or I'm quite skilled in traveling across lands. I could definitely find the nearest source of water. Perhaps if you point us in that direction, I'll be able to get us the rest of the way there.
that way.
Wait, it's like a little branch. I love that.
Yeah. It's a kind of big branch.
Ooh.
Well, it's a little branch on the end of a big branch.
Oh, okay, there you go. I like that.
Putting
I
it
like
that way.
Mumps would like to walk over and take the branch in his little hand and shake it and say,
Thank you very much, Mr. Tree. Have a wonderful day.
and Mumps and Durbin start walking in that direction.
Come on, Havilar. Keep up, Aquila and the V. It's time to go.
Do I still have the drugs
So
I've
long.
always carried in my pouch? I feel like I still have them. From
I
the
think
first...
you have 3 left. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know for my own.
Do you
knowledge.
accidentally have them or do you purposely have them?
Oh, I accidentally, purposefully have them.
Okay. Purposely accidentally or accidentally purposely?
I'm just holding them to a friend. I swear they're not mine.
right.
Purposefully, no, definitely purposefully, accidentally. It's
Okay.
definitely that one.
Okay, got you. Just wanted to make sure.
An
that
important
I was-
distinction.
Yeah, that I was okay. All right, you guys start traveling towards Silver Light. We have to wait 2 hours. It takes a little while to get there, so
So,
I catch up with
what do we
Durbin.
talk about? Catch up with Durbin. Okay, well,
Durbin lives
Here
a
I
very
was.
storied life, so he's got a lot to
He
tell.
does.
That's true.
He has a lot to tell.
Do tell me,
Vest.
how did you get that fascinating leg of yours?
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Vest, do you have speak to animals?
I don't. I feel like he's kind of just like doing that thing, like when people talk to their dogs and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?" And
Yeah,
but no, I do not know how to speak with animals. I do
yeah.
speak with plants, but this tree was already talking, so.
Durbin definitely seems to understand you. He's a special guy. And Bumps, Durbin seems to, be having a good little chat as you guys trot along through the forest. And a couple of hours later, you approach closer and closer to Silverlight. It becomes a little bit more cloudy, and some mist is just above the floor, the ground, as you walk. Vess, your people have built camp here on the ridge where the forest is most dense, which is on the opposite side of the lake. Here, let's go back to showing Silverlight. Oops, cancel. Just putting it on the little dinger. Ding. Okay. But as you guys approach through a clearing between the forest you just left and the lake itself, you notice, Vestanir, that things are not how you left them. It looks as though many of the tall spruce trees in the area have been chopped down, leading up to Silverlight.
What's the
And
meaning of this travesty? This is terrible.
yeah, as you approach, you can see that thick wooden walls have been erected to block off the road to the lake. And even a few,
Civilization, what have you done this time?
even a few wooden guard towers near the shores that you can see all around. It's a pretty sizable lake, but it seems like there's a presence of these buildings on all sides of it that you can see from where you currently stand without getting past the wall.
How long ago did you leave this area, Vezinir?
It's been 2 weeks since Vestanir left.
It's only been a fortnight, but you said something about temporal distortion. Did you earlier? What
think-
you?
It could
I
happen.
think that might have happened again.
Oh no. I think this wood might have been given the D. And from all this wood chopped down, I'd say it was a big D. A really big D.
Could be.
Thank you for that, Mumps. But I'm failing to see how that helps in this specific scenario. Vesinir, are you all right? And I pat his back because he's clearly doubled over in shock. And
Yeah,
Doc, yes.
Mom's would like to go over and aid Havilar and rubbing and be like,
Yeah, go if you need to let your feelings out, you go right ahead, Queen V. You just tell us what's going on. Tell us what's in your heart.
Yeah, Vesinir is he's obviously caught off guard. He thought, okay, we're finally making progress. We're finally almost there, and just things keep getting in the way, and he looks a little distraught. And normally he'd try to, but this time he almost seems to welcome the comforting hands of his companions, and that kind of steels him to go, okay, well, this is one more obstacle that we'll have to surmount, and as the Valor Knights of Valor, I know that we can accomplish this.
of
Kind of
course
trying to
we can.
convince himself.
Yeah, we can.
course
And
we
you know
can.
why? Because you're simply the best.
Mm-hmm.
Simply the
Yeah.
best.
And surely, how? Remind me, in the past, how much time difference has it? Oh, it was 2 years. That's right. It was a long time.
Goodness.
I mean, it wasn't. It was probably not the same this time, though. It's probably just a little bit longer since you left. It probably hasn't been multiple years.
I mean,
So-
every portal's different, right? So it could be like a whole bunch of years.
And here's another quick hint, Mumps, with your 13 of chalkboard reading. This D should only actually occur in Feywild travel, and you guys actually haven't traveled through the Feywild. You went from the tower in the middle plane
That's right.
to a forest in the middle plane.
Well, thank God I
So
remembered
is it-
that. Whew.
That could have been. We could have been really.
Oh, wait a
confused.
second. Vess is like crying, and Havalar is trying to figure out.
Sorry.
Wait a minute.
Ugh.
Wait. It's still weird though. I still don't get it. It's still concerning. I feel concerned.
Well, you guys see that even as you've been standing here, you hear like distant chopping, and people are actively working on these walls and these towers.
The sound
There's-
of axe against wood is like nails on a chalkboard to Vesemir's
Yeah.
ears. Would I be able to use like my knowledge of nature to like figure out how long it's been, because I came through here and I would like, I don't know.
Yeah. So you do have to walk past a field of newly chopped trees. These ones couldn't have been chopped down more than a week ago in this little field. But there's areas kind of all around the lake that have been affected.
Perhaps this has just occurred in the 2 weeks that I've been gone.
Do you think this was by your people?
My people would never commit such atrocities.
Well, if we're near them and they're not doing this, where are they?
Can you guys make perception checks?
21.
Cool.
7.
Cool.
13.
All right, Vess, what do your elf eyes see?
What do my elf eyes see, indeed?
There are armored humanoids guarding the wall. You guys are still probably about 500-600 feet from the nearest wall that separates you from the lake beyond. The guards on the wall wear iron helmets that conceal their faces, and they wield either crossbows or spears, usually not both. Flags on the towers and the wall reveal that this is some kind of... I guess you wouldn't recognize it per se, but it's not... they don't look like bandits. They look like well-paid, like an army of some kind.
They're wearing iron. They couldn't possibly be my people. Us druids do not wear any form of metal.
And the symbols on the flags are that you don't recognize, but they're not the symbols that would normally be associated with like warlords or bandits or anything. It looks like they're from a civilized, even worse, a civilized place.
Ugh. Disgusting.
Maybe we should just send Mumps in to go talk to them and come back.
How
He
we're
looks
twinsies
pretty-
again? I was just gonna say I can go ask who they are. We can just
He's
ask
very
them.
unassuming. Yeah. Play
Sure.
him a song or something.
And Havalar
Okay.
like readies a crossbow. Yeah. So Mumps, do you head up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vesemir's ready to go feral.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna-
And the two of you are gonna hang back.
Yeah.
Can we find a good? Is there a spot where we can hide and like really watch closely?
Yeah.
I also
so,
have a cantrip called Mold Earth, so I can like create like a
Aw.
mound if we need it.
Sure. Why don't you guys make stealth checks, and we'll use that to determine just how close you get.
Okay.
None of you wear armor, so that's cool. That means you won't get disadvantage.
Right. None of us wear heavy. I think I have leather, but that's
Right.
it. All right. Excellent. All right. 17. Not bad.
I got a 7.
Okay. So it's not bad enough that anything disastrous is going to happen. Vess, you two are walking. You realize Havalar's a lot crunchier than you as she goes.
Must you walk so loudly?
I
So-
am not. I'm literally taking the softest steps that I can.
So the two of you that are you're probably about 300 feet away when you're like, we shouldn't push it. You, in the cover of some mostly chopped down trees, you can use mold earth to give yourselves a nice mound, and you sit and watch from there. If that works for you.
I'm feeling
So
a little
far-
nervous about this plan because is there a guard? Is there like a door, or I mean, like a gate?
Yeah, so from this distance, you see that you're not actually coming from the road, you're coming from the forest. So there's not a
Yes,
gate
okay.
here. There's just a section of wall that's still in progress attached to a guard tower. And then there's gaps, pretty large gaps on either side. Because it looks like the main goal is to eventually enclose this entire space. But for now, they're just erecting towers, maybe just for vision. And Mumps, as you've gone kind of full speed ahead right at this wall, you're about to reach it. Is there anything you two want to do to like prepare?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace on me and Havilar so we can get a lot closer.
Sure.
Ooh.
Go ahead
So
and make
that's-
another stealth check for me, you guys, as you get closer.
And you get plus 10 on this one, Havilar.
Ooh. Okay, then I got a 24.
Nice.
Right, let me see. All right, I got a 22.
All right. So you two, all of a sudden, Avalar, you step and you're confused because it's silent. And you're like, wait, what's wrong with my foot? And you proceed after Vesenir and manage to
I've-
get. How close do
I've
you guys
never
want to
been
be?
this close enough that we can see Mumps. Like
Yeah.
I think Mumps should go talk to somebody that we can see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can see people up on top of the wall and nearby it walking about with big hammers and axes and pieces of lumber.
I definitely want
So-
to be within like giant, like either cave bear or giant boar distance.
Okay. So, like, even just maybe 30 feet off?
I was gonna say 30. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys do manage to get real close and personal. I'm going to grab my dice because I always wait until the right time to get them.
Does that help with the
That's-
rolling? You
Yeah.
get better rolls.
I leave them in their charging station. You know?
Charging station.
Yeah. Yeah. Likes to let them cook a little bit. Likes to let them stew.
This wall is mighty suspicious. These folks look to be keeping people out of Silverlight. I don't know. People
Right.
who hoard resources away from everybody else.
Walls are quite
Mumps.
unnatural.
You approach the
Indeed.
wall. You're spotted
Mhm.
by a guard up above who
Just
has
one?
a crossbow.
How many do I see?
You see there's two guards in the tower and one on the wall itself, which has must have a back platform, about probably 20 feet in the direction that the wall spans. And the wall is only reached probably about 40 feet at this point.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm a little. Wait, you said so the wall's 40 feet high, and you said he's like halfway down the
No,
wall, or?
the wall is 40 feet long.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
The wood is probably 10 feet tall in spikes, and the tower is more like 16 feet to where the guards are posted, and another few feet to the point of the tower.
Got it. Okay.
And one of them, who wields a crossbow, spots you and doesn't take his crossbow off of his shoulders, but he says, "Hey, who are you?"
Hi, my name is Mumps. What's yours? Hi.
My name's Fred.
Hi, Fred. I'm a little confused. Sorry. I'm as you can see, I'm a seasoned traveler. I'm in and around a lot. I'm in and out a lot. I guess I'm just a little confused because I'm so. First of all, great wall. Love the wall. It's looking so sharp, and so are you. What kind of metal is that? What armor is that?
It's the hard stuff.
Hard stuff. That's great. That's terrific, Fred.
Yeah.
This wall, it's new. It's so brand spanking new. I gotta wonder, like, who put it up? Like, what's the deal here? I'm
Yeah,
so
this
curious.
is from Highmore Industries. Highmore something or others. Enterprises Industries. They've been really, really building like hard, like
Oh,
building hard.
wow.
I mean, look at that guy, and he points to one of the people that are like walking by with like lumber on his shoulder, and the guy's like, and just continues his job. It's like, that guy's been doing that for like a long time, or not that long, but that's the point, is what I'm saying, because they've been really building.
Wow. What are they building all this for? Is this going to be like some kind of fort or some kind of like? Is this like a new hub? Is this like going to be the cool spot? Like, what's going on here? Should I get in on this on the ground floor?
Yeah, so if you want to use the portal to get to the Fey plane, then um, you have to pay the toll, and that's
A
just
toll. Wow. A
yeah.
toll. What's the toll? Do you know like the starting fee here? Like what's going
I
on?
think I think it actually you're supposed to go in and then ask there because it's client by client basis.
Oh,
So
okay.
they
So it's
just
like a
tell
front
us,
desk. I can like
yeah,
get tickets or something.
but you're not supposed to go through here. You're supposed to go around the front side and where the road is, and
Oh,
you're like
okay.
a woods person, so
Okay.
you might have missed it, but you go around to where the road is, and then they'll tell you you need to pay this much, and you do that, and then you can I guess go through or whatever. So
Oh, sure. Uh, and then can I roll persuasion to just be, I got such tiny little legs, and I don't know if I can get all the way around to the front. I'm so sorry. I'm in like a bit of a hurry. Sorry, Fred. But is there any way I can just go in that hole in the wall right there and like go to the front desk that way?
go ahead and roll for that.
That's gonna be a 16 plus 24.
Yeah. Bards, man. Bards be hards. Let me check. Just stay there and let me check.
Okay.
And he turns around and you kind of lose sight of him as he's looking around his little workstation, and he picks up something and he just uses. He's like, "Hey Ned, Ned, hey Ned," and you guys eventually you see him. You see this guy in the distance, Mumps. He's on the other tower, probably about like 80 feet out, or I guess more like 200 feet away, in the direction of the wall. He says, "Hey Ned, can this guy just come through and see the Ned? Can this guy come through and see the go to the toll gate just through?" And Ned is over there 120 feet away, and he's like, "I don't think it's come through. It's over there. Go to the front gate of the thing. He's gotta go through the front of the gate. He's gotta go through the road. We're gonna have trouble." Is that am I deafening anybody? I'm sorry.
No,
No, that's
you're good.
perfect.
You're good. You're good.
What?
He says you gotta go through the front gate or we're gonna get in trouble. So, you can ask him if you want to, but
That's Ned.
yeah, you can ask Ned if you want to, but you gotta go around the out. See where the wall is going? Just
Mm-hmm.
draw a line from it, with a little circularness, and go that
Mm-hmm.
way, and then you can talk to Ned if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I might do that. You said he's that way, and can I point like behind him to see if he turns around so I can roll something else if he does?
Uh, he'll turn around to correct you and say, "See that guy over there?"
Is
And
he
then-
turned around long enough for me to try and roll stealth to just go through the wall? Would
to
he
go
see me
through
on the
wall?
other side?
How long do you need?
I don't know what's on the other side of this. Well, because you said there's like a hole in the wall, or like they're not done building the wall.
Yeah, so
right?
to the left of the tower that he's on top of, you could get past it, but then you would still be inside of this tower technically.
Sure. All right, I'll just go around to the front, to the roadside.
You can try to hide. You have like you're level 11, so you can do things that shouldn't make sense if you want to. I don't want to
Plus,
stop
you're
you
small.
from trying.
You
Yeah.
can hide.
Yeah, but Fred's just doing his job. I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't want to, I'm just going to do things. He said, go to the front. I'm going to go to the front, you know?
You guys overhear all of this and see Mumps just start to hike his way around the outside. I will also say, Vess, can you make another perception check while you're over here?
Yeah. Let's see. I have good perceptions. Even that's a 4. I think that's a 12. Yes,
Okay.
12.
Okay, so at the very least, from where you are, you can see where your camp would be past the lake and up on the ridge. Because how this lake works is basically it's mostly flat now that you guys have approached it, leading up to the lake, and you can't see too much of it because there's a wall blocking some of it, but there's also openings that Mumps is now walking by. On the left to where you are, which is like the north side of the lake, there is a steeper incline of a hill up to a more forested area, and that area is where Vestanir, that's where your people should be. But as you continue to kind of look at Mumps and then look over there, look at Mumps and look over there, you haven't detected any sign of their presence, but you do see that there's a structure in that direction that is going up. And that structure should be near, if not right on where your people are.
Something's not right. You see that structure over there, Havilar? That
Aye.
that shouldn't be there. My people would never construct such a monument. At least not
That's
for
where they were
residents.
before.
Yes,
They-
we definitely have to get over there and try and figure out what's going on.
So, do you guys do that?
I don't want to leave
It's-
Mumps or Durbin.
Oh yeah, is Durbin with you, Mumps?
Yeah, I'll just have him with me. He'll be
Yeah.
he'll be right there with me.
He's trotting along with you.
Yeah.
It sells the whole traveler thing.
Yeah, that makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
We planned it that way.
Yeah.
So the structure where Bess's people were before is so we'd have to go through the wall and
Yeah.
like past the lake towards
you can
it.
go through it,
like
or you
around
can take a wider way around. Because, it's a circle. Like, we're looking at a non-complete circle. So if you go
Right.
around the long way through the woods, you can come up and on the outside of the circle the whole time. Or you can cut a little bit in nearer the lake, but it'd be pretty tough to do because there's a ton of people walking around building shit.
Bess feels confident that he could make his way to the lake and to his people's home, but he also definitely wants to save as much time as possible. After all, time has been an issue.
That D.
Well, as we've seen, I cannot be sneaky. So
Well, we still have the
You're
pass that place
still-
on us.
Yeah, the two of you are still under the effects of that.
Right.
spell.
Lasts for an entire hour, Havilar. So do not be concerned
well,
for your loud, very loud steps.
I won't. Thank you, Bessanir. And as much as I have avoided saying this, but let's follow your lead on this.
All right. Does that mean that you two are going to kind of jeer off to the left?
Whichever you think is best. I don't really want to lose Mumps, but maybe Mumps
Can
is
we-
going. Is Mumps going to? Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
because I
ahead.
kind of want I'm kind of asking the same thing you are. Like, what is Mumps' plan? Like, can we tell what Mumps' his intentions
He's-
are from here?
Mumps, what are you doing?
Yeah, he doesn't know there's a separate plan going on, so he's just like, oh yeah, I'll just go to the front and I'll find out what's going on, and I can go back and tell everyone the new plan.
Oh no!
Can I
Okay.
try and Can I try and like make like a bird call using my druid craft? Kind of be like, caw, caw, like get back here, caw.
Sure.
Let's hope
Um,
Mumps knows what he's.
Mumps
knows
has
what
an
the signal.
intelligence of 6, I believe.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's an
I-
intelligence of
Oh,
6.
no.
I
Should
think
I just like roll for perception and hope
the
it
thing
pulls
that's
through?
this reminds me of like a if you had a piece of paper that said flip this over to the other side on both sides of it.
Just
Like I think a level 6 is you're gonna flip that over a good
A few
number of
times.
times. Yeah,
Before he gets it.
you're gonna walk to the front gate, right? Like it's
Yeah, that's what he's got in his
the
mind.
thing.
Yeah, that's what he thinks
But
the
you
next
can
step
go
is.
ahead and make an
Right.
insight. Make a perception check. Sure, whichever one.
Alright, yeah, I'll go with perception and see where that takes me.
Yeah, it'll take you to the next thing.
Oh, I was a nat one.
Okay.
Oh no, the
Of course
curse
it was.
is spread.
I would say that you hear a bird from somewhere. Right? I mean,
Pretty birdie.
from somewhere.
Ah, nature.
You think it
It's
might be
nice.
coming from the front gate area.
Wow, that's a really
Check it
loud
out.
bird. Ugh.
So basically,
Caw.
is
So-
Mumps going the opposite direction of what we want to
Yeah,
go?
he's going the opposite circumference. Opposite
I'm
way
almost
on the
considering
circle.
Havilar. I don't want to lose Mumps since we have this spell cast upon us. Perhaps we can sneak through more easily than he can and accompany him if danger were to fall upon him.
Yes, it does. What trouble can he possibly get in? And as I say that, I
Esnir
think
looks
of
at
all the
Havilar.
trouble. So much trouble. If time is of the essence and we are quiet right now, and as a team, I feel like we could do some good work. Let's do it. Let's stop thinking and just use our action. Jump into
Val and our
action.
lights of valor stick together. Onward.
Onward, as
Oh,
in,
man.
just to clarify,
That's fair.
are the two of you? I think that maybe you're both on different
Maybe.
Um,
We'll see. Let's find out.
wavelengths.
We go
Onward, you go
opposite
different directions.
Onward, bonk.
All right.
Well, okay, so the plan is to go
Which-
through the gate and cross, like
Left
through
to
the
Vestinir's
circle.
family or right to the gate?
Because
House.
Mumps is not with them, can I not suggest plans of action? Not me. I don't know. Kyle versus Mumps. I'm assuming I should.
I mean,
You can't. You
I'm
can't
thinking of that.
influence.
I know. Yeah, I'm not part of the team.
I think you guys, at this point, after that conversation, have to flip a coin because I thought you had decided and you hadn't.
I had to
Or you
I
could let me
decided-
decide.
Well, I've decided to go with what Vesinir wants to do.
yeah,
If
I
he
definitely
wants
want to
go
follow
through-
Mumps. I don't want to leave
Okay.
Mumps alone. So the best.
All right.
That was the
Oh.
Valeniers that stick together. They were stick together. So we're gonna follow Mumps. That was my
We're following Mubs.
following Mumps.
Got it. I'm on the same page. Thank you. And I'm
Yeah.
rubbing
Okay.
my head from where we collided
Yeah.
into each other as we tried to be on the same page very enthusiastically, and then that did not go quite to plan.
And as soon as the two of you stand to head your way after Mumps, still in magical stealthy mode, Vesinir, you hear a bird call just like the one that you just let out, coming from your left.
Ooh, that could be my people. Could I make like a? Could I?
Yeah.
Is it my people?
Yeah, take a perception with advantage on that.
All right, let's do it. All right, that's a nat 2, but that is a 19. There we go.
Okay.
That's much better.
19 plus some or total?
19 total.
Okay. So you look over to the direction. It's definitely because the sound that you made, I believe, would be like a practiced bird call that you and your people know.
Definitely.
And this is the exact one. And so you look directly to where you hear it coming from, and you spot a high elvish woman in the brush above and on the other side, on your side of the wall, but above and to the left. and they've spotted you. And this is, I think you with the 19 you recognize them. Her name is Asara, and she is somebody who you trained with as children, basically.
Okay.
She's an archer from your group, and once your druid powers were discovered, you kind of separated paths training wise, but you remained friends. And she has spotted you, but she glances around and, knowing that you've seen her, ducks back into the tree cover and gestures for you to follow.
Follow her, or like
To follow
Ooh.
her.
all right. Whew. I think it's a good time to take a break.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. All right, time to take a break. It's 7:10, so yeah, we made it through a lot. We're a little bit late. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. We're going to be right back in...
Don't go anywhere.
15? Yeah, we're going to be right back in 15. Drop us a follow if you haven't yet, because we're trying to get Mumpsy Boy to 150. And when he does, he's going to do a dance for us, a special dance, not just a regular dance.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break. It's not a commercial. Love you, bye. Kablamba.
Still recording. Okay, good.
Are we back? Is it work? Did it work? I think it worked. I think we're back.
Well, technology.
Welcome back to Roll For It. We're here at the Silverlight Highmore Camp, not knowing what's going on.
Corporations taking over our resources.
Vestenir's people came through here just over 2 weeks ago, and then Vestenir left to fetch help from Castle Viahara. And now that Ves is back, people have been building like crazy and have created a wall and guard towers surrounding this magical lake. What is the deal? Mumps has gone up and they said, well, you gotta pay now to use the lake. And Mumps was like, what? That's weird. And started going around to the right to go check out the little toll boothy area. Meantime, Havilar and Vestenir argued over whether they're going to follow Mumps or not follow Mumps. They disagreed, but not intentionally. And then Vestenir was called by a bird sound of one of her people who gestured for Vestenir to one of Vestenir's people and gestured for him to follow. I think that brings us up to date.
Indeed.
So Vesenir hears the voice from his friend Asara, and decides to head off. And this is the first spotting he's seen of his people. He wants to know information, so kind of sneaks up in that direction, kind of almost unconscious of how quiet he is and whether or not Havilar notices is not in his current train of thought, and goes off and follows Asara.
Well, Havilar, picking up that she's being discarded as an afterthought, follows anyway, because that is what we agreed we would do.
Yeah. Havilar's like, yeah, I'll follow you. And Ves is like, let's go after Mumps then. Nope. Turned around.
Immediately, yeah.
Juked out. Okay. You guys head to the left. Havilar, as you kind of glance around, still very quiet, very stealthy. You guys are going to ride that same stealth check as before for now. You see that the flags, now that you're right next to this tower, you see that the flags, the emblems on them are from Tribor, the nearby human city, the arena city that you are quite familiar with. And it's also where the gang has recently, well, I guess not recently, just over a year ago, the gang went through Tribor and left with a prisoner as enemies of the state, basically. After busting through the arena.
The flags are from the city of Tribor, like their emblem.
Yeah. So this little settlement in progress is an expansion of the city of Tribor.
Ooh.
Gross.
Though they called it a Highmore something or other.
Industries.
Yeah. If you'd like, you can make a history check with advantage, actually, Havilar. And
that is a 15.
Okay. You do recognize the Highmore. Now putting it together, the Highmore name, there's a guy named, is his name Vex? I think it is. Vex Highmore, who is basically the unofficial mayor of Tribor. He's the richest guy there, and he's kind of the owner of the entertainment industry, which includes a very profitable arena in the center of town. So the dude is a moneymaker, and it would make sense that he'd be in charge of this crazy amount of building in such a short span of time. Also,
absolutely revolting.
2 quick things. First, if you guys pushed unrecord before, push re-record now, because I did so, but I'm just reminding everybody. And second, thanks everybody for being in the chat. Feel free to drop in and say what up, and leave us a follow right in the follow area. Leave us a follow. Anyway, so you don't miss what's next and roll for it. All right. Next and roll for it. Mumps. You walk around the outskirts of the wall, of where the wall will be, as many, many, many dozens of people build things all around you. Now that the wall's not in front of you, you can see closer into the lake. There are big old tents erected. There's full sections of where people are living on this land as they build more permanent structures. And the more permanent buildings are more towards the roadside of the lake, of the, I guess we'll call it the settlement, the Highmore settlement. Two of the more recognizable structures here that are not just tents are, one is a long, kind of wide, skinny building, looks like a hangar. I don't know the medieval equivalent of a hangar, but it's long and rounded, and that's built near one of the thickest section of walls near the road. And just next to that is the most comfortable looking little house that is impossible to have been built in 2 weeks, except that it probably was. And it's got 2 stories, and it's well guarded by much better armored versions of the guards that line the walls and the towers. And those seem to be the 2 main buildings. You also see as you approach the gate that the people here have built a dock into the center of the lake, like a wooden dock that expands into the center of the lake. And that is well guarded as well. And when you get around to the road, as you approach the outside, I assume, of the gate at the road, if that's what you're heading towards.
Yeah. Just walking up. And I guess I'll go to the building where the people are in front and be like,
Hi, excuse me. I'm looking for the place where I can pay the toll.
Well, you found the right place, you did.
Oh, great. It's here? Yeah. It's this building here behind you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here. So how much gold you got with you?
Oh, well, that's an odd way to tell me how much the toll
It's
is.
income based. We're very progressive.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
great because I don't have a lot. This is great. This is great news.
Yeah, sure. So how much you got?
how much do I have?
And
What's
it
in my
seems like
pockets?
the guy's almost like smirking a little bit as he looks down at you as you look through your pockets.
He can't see into my pockets, can he?
No, I
No.
don't think so. Maybe. And
You don't know that.
a couple of other guards have come and like shouldered up with him too, and eyeing you up and down, maybe even starting to surround you teensy bitsy.
It's like how many? 4, 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And do I look at him and go,
So, you're the person I would pay and you would give me permission to pass through?
Yeah. If you pay me, I'll take you through to the portal, and you can go in, drop in, and live happily ever after in the Feywild.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so now I cast mass suggestion, in which up to 12 people have to make a wisdom saving throw. And if they lose, they have to do my suggestion, as long as it's not telling them to hurt themselves.
Okay. Quick question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Do they know that you attempted it if they succeed?
I don't know, because it doesn't say here. It just says each target must make a wisdom saving throw, and then it talks about what happens on a failed save. It doesn't tell me what happens on a succeeded save. So I hope not, but oof.
Okay. I think because with the regular suggestion it says, so maybe it doesn't. I'll check after. Let's do some rolls. We'll start with the guy that you're talking to. He rolled a 12, and we're talking about wisdom, right?
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure he rolled like a 12. Yeah. How's 12 for you?
Let's see. My wisdom spellcasting. Well, no, my spellcasting modifier stays the same even if they're doing a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours is going to be the same deal.
Great. Then a 12 doesn't do anything.
Okay. All right, let's do his immediate companions. I got a 17 and a 14. How's the 17 work?
Pretty sure that 17 is going to beat me, yeah.
But 14's a no, right?
No.
Okay, so 4 of the 6 people that are right in your area, what are you suggesting to them?
Oh, this is so wild. My friend came through earlier and paid for me. You remember this. I know you do. You couldn't have missed him. He definitely paid the fee for not only me, but my mule and my 2 friends who are going to be joining me in just a sec. He paid for all of us. He paid for the whole line. It was a pay it forward thing. Someone came in ahead of him and paid for him. And then he paid for us. It was like he didn't want to break the chain. And so he was paying for all of us. And so he paid for me, the mule, and my 2 friends who are coming in. He's such a generous guy. You would love him. You probably did. You met him, of course. You loved him, right?
Wow.
I know you did. I know you did.
I cannot believe I would have forgotten that. That's like a rich person to do that.
So you remember that my
No,
friends
that
and I
makes
are already paid
sense.
for.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can feel that weight of the gold that he already gave you in your pockets. Like you feel, you feel it, you know it.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
I thought it was the chest plate. It's a new chest plate. But
Oh, that is so shiny too. You look so great in that chest plate. You really do.
thank you. No, yeah, and with all the new gold, I could probably get a shine, maybe get some matching knee guards or something.
Treat
But
yourself. Yeah.
No, come on through. Yeah, it makes sense. What are you looking
Thank
at,
you.
Ern, fuck off, Ern. God damn. Ern's always trying to ruin shit. No, go through and do you know your friend's name? Because I want to reach out if they come back through. I want to be the guy. I want to try to be the guy there when your
Oh, yeah.
friend comes back
We
through.
can wait together if you want, and I can just point them out. Because I got time to waste, and I want you to tell me all about the cool stuff that you're gonna do with that new gold. Because you seem like a cool dude. He's a cool dude. What's your name?
It's Ed.
Ed.
Yeah.
Ed, I'm Mumps, and let's hang out. Let's chill. We can play some cards or something until my friends show up.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to win some of that gold back. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what gold back?
Nothing. Let's just play a friendly game.
Okay. Yeah. So technically you're not magically asking him to play a game because the suggestion doesn't work indefinitely.
Oh, no, that's
But-
just me trying to kill time. Wait
Yeah.
for my friends. I don't want to jump in the portal without them.
But he'll be like,
Yeah, what
You
else?
know,
am I doing?
yeah, if you put in a good word with me, with your rich friend that came
Sweet.
through,
Yeah.
I'll show you one of the best games of Tribor has to offer. Besides, obviously, the senseless killing in the arenas. I'm talking about just cards. It's just cards.
Ah, sweet.
All right.
And that
the
spell
two of
lasts
you-
for 24 hours. So.
Okay. Okay. And he leaves behind 3 others who also saw somebody come through earlier and paid. So you're in pretty good shape. And he escorts you to a little break area, which is nearby. It's outdoors, but under some tall up canopies, so in the shade. And it's a big
Nice.
break area. There's a lot of people flowing through here. It's like a COVID hazard, but you are seated at a table that he kind of muscles his way into and says, "Okay, we're playing a new game. We got to show our friend here. What was your name again? I forgot. What?
Mumps.
We're showing our new friend Mumps here how we play in Tribor." And he deals you up. Do you buy into this game? Are you gonna gamble?
No, I think it's just a friendly game. We're just all hanging out, having fun, you know.
Well, you have to buy in for this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
It's like 2 gold. It's 2 gold to join in. So in the meantime, as you start playing cards, And you can make a well, we'll get back to you. So, Havilar and Vesanir, you guys trek your way through the woods and up towards the ridged area where Vesanir's camp was weeks ago. Ves, as you approach, you reach the place where your people had made camp. You guys are probably about 60 to 80 feet from the nearest structure. So I will have you make one more stealth check while you're up here, but you're still under the effects of this Pass Without Trace. How long does that last? Just 10 minutes? Or is
An
it
hour.
an hour? Okay.
I mean, as long as I maintain concentration. 24.
6.
You get a plus 10.
I mean 16.
All right. Okay. So you guys are kind of close to this other wall, but you have the cover of the trees now. Most of this area hasn't been hit too bad. But definitely something is different from how you left it. The small camouflaged huts beneath the tree cover and the scouting platforms built into the high branches have been torn down from your camp, Vesanir. Some of these trees have been burnt rather than chopped, like the other areas of the woods near the lake, and none of your people are in sight except for Asara, who does another whistle slightly to the north, further into the woods, and you catch a sight of her.
Vesanir puts a hand on one of the burnt trees and kind of closes his eyes for a moment, almost as like an apology, and then continues after the sounds Asara is making.
Okay. The two of you continue into the woods. So, Asara leads you to a very well-hidden burrow in the forest, dragging aside a small fallen tree that blocks the entrance to a shadowy area beneath the thick roots of an old spruce tree. Once inside, your eyes adjust to the darkness. Patches of sunlight shine from the forest above, and you see that you're in a much more vast cave than you thought, and dozens of high elves and other members of your clan look back at you. Havilar, you follow Vesanir into this little burrow in the woods?
I do. Do I fit?
You
Is it a
do
tight
fit.
squeeze?
You might you might
Dislodge some.
bump a little bit into the ceiling and some dirt kind of falls and gets on your eye maybe for a minute, but you crouch in. Yeah, you're definitely crouched. And most of the folks in here are. But
I'm feeling a bit out of place,
yeah.
but I just look around at all the high elves looking back at me. Look at
Uh-huh.
Vesanir.
I imagine he does some kind of, tribal greeting or some kind of thing, and then kind of looks at Havilar and says, "This is my companion, Havilar. She is here to help us, in case there was any concern."
Sure. It seems like there maybe was some concern. Havilar, I feel like you don't like a lot of the looks that you get when you walk into this burrow here.
Vesanir. Is it just me? Or I don't love the looks I'm getting from your folks here.
But Vesanir, you are embraced by many members of your family. Come up to you and give you hugs, quietly ish. You're far enough away from the guards that nobody's like afraid to whisper, but people are smiling. Some people laugh at you when they see your fine Valinair clothing, torn as it is. Asara, the one that led you here, Havilar, looks at you a little bit uneasy, but says, "Are you from Viahara? How many did they send?"
They sent the only ones that they needed to send. 3 of the finest knights that can be found in Viahara.
Where are the other 2?
Well, there's 2 here, and then there's one. I'm going to be honest. He might not be the finest knight, but he's He's got a lot of different skills, soft
Ah, I
skills.
thought you were
if you
referring to
will.
Durbin.
So they sent Vestanir and two others. You and Durbin.
No. It's Vesanir, myself, and Mumps. Durbin could also count. He does have a special leg. It's quite powerful, but it's better to just show you that than try to explain it.
And she turns back to the group, and there's some mumblings, and they're like, they sent 3 people, 3 humanoid people, one of which is a dragonborn. Of all the people,
Vesanir, tries to be a little, tries to save face here and try to be a little politically, oh, tries to say, save what's going on, and they they sent their best. It did not seem prudent to send a large group of people, especially considering what we just ran into. Perhaps the stealth mission was called for, as opposed to a large army. Tell me what's going on? What happened to the camp that was here?
stealth will be useful if you're gonna get us out of this. As you can see, we're not all here right now. And you've definitely noticed you haven't seen your mother or many of like the village elders.
Where's the queen? Or actually, would she be a queen? Or I guess the leader of the Moonsiders, queen.
It's up to you what you call her. I think she would be a queen by like technically nobility, but I don't think she would probably go by it
Right.
after this many
okay.
years. I don't know. But she explains that humans came in the night just a few days after you had left. And we were ready for them, always keeping watch in a strange place. But there were so many, and a few of us were injured. More of them were injured, plenty more of them. But your mother stepped forward before more blood was shed and offered to go with the attackers to speak to their leader. And a day later, they returned without her, saying that they'd kill her if we didn't send our druids. So we sent our druids with them back to their camp. So they have, yeah, they had 20 of us at that point. The queen
No,
and
nothing else. Nothing more about why.
well, that same night after we got rid of our druids, our best fighters, we fled the camp thinking something terrible would happen, and we were right because they came back the next night and were just firing crossbows into our trees that we had left from. They're certainly not men of their word, but I don't think humans maybe are capable of that. And so we safely ended up here, and we've been watching ever since, trying to get an idea of what's going on. It seems like the humans have set up something to profit from people coming through the lake and coming out. Our druids they've been using to try and control the mists in a way that they can better, more efficiently send people through the portal. Because, as you know, Silverlight has a mind of its own when it comes to sending people through to the Feywild versus leaving them where they are. It seems like either our druids are not doing a good job of it or they're not participating, which is more likely. They're plenty capable.
I wasn't aware that we were able to affect the mist. It seems that your suspicion might be true. I don't think that whatever they're doing to appear useful to these humans, I only hope that they can keep up the facade long enough before we can get there.
Well, we know where they're held. We just don't know the details of the building, and we haven't been able to launch an assault large enough to free them. There's hundreds of them in the camp. So
Well, it's your lucky day because we happen to have an inside man at the camp. I think it's the same camp, right? Like it's inside. They're inside the walls.
yes, inside the walls surrounding the lake, especially towards the road. That's where most of them are building. The leader, Mr. Highmore, resides there, heavily guarded, and then there are residential tents, some for the builders and some for the army. And the worst part of it is when people come out of the Feywild, they capture them unless they pay the toll. People who step out of the lake on either side are spotted and hauled to the gate where, if whoever is in charge at the time doesn't see their payment as enough, we'll hold them captive alongside our family until someone comes along that has enough money to pay to free some prisoners from the room, from the prison.
And you don't know where they're being held, or you do?
We know
You
the
know
building,
exactly where. You know the
We-
building.
but we
Okay.
haven't seen the inside.
So, if you had to take out just one or two people of that group, who would be the best ones? Are we talking this Highmore guy? We should take him out.
Taking them out to achieve what
But-
goal?
To achieve death, mostly.
Vengeance, perhaps.
Yes. And a end to this nonsense toll that is being enacted.
As much as I desire revenge, I believe that retrieving the queen and the rest of the druids should be our priority.
Porque no los dos? Says a small voice from your shoulder, Havalar. Can you make a charisma saving throw, Havalar?
Whoa, okay. That is a 6.
All right. You feel I don't think you would even feel it. There's a little man standing on your shoulder that you have not noticed until just now. Okay, let me describe him. Okay, I'm just looking at him instead of describing. All right. A tiny man stands on Havalar's shoulders. He stands about 4 inches tall and wears clothing made of bits of leaves and wood. He has a longbow and a quiver of teeny tiny arrows over his back, and a toothpick-like longsword hilted at his side. His hair spikes upwards, and he has something smudged under his eyes like battle paint. And his expression is deadly serious. He's the proportions of an elf, but 4 inches tall, fully armed, and he has 4 dragonfly wings resting behind him, behind his back. And he speaks again. I can get you in there and we can kill every one of those sons of bitches.
And I am not sure how to react in this moment for fear of all of these high elves looking at me a little odd.
Can
Do
we
they
hear
see
his
it?
Yeah.
offer? Okay.
So you guys see,
Oh.
everybody sees the sprite too, but no, this is not a member of your people of Vestanir. You don't recognize this guy. This is you do recognize his species. He is a sprite.
Ooh,
Common in
so-
the Fae.
Yeah, I would say so. Vezdir first hesitates, knowing what these creatures are capable of, but then says, "What would be your price?" Or asks, "What would be your price?"
I just want to see my fellow Fey wild folk run free from their prison. And I want to see capitalism burn. and I want to eat the rich. And I want.
Can I roll
Insight.
a perception check? Yeah, to see if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, go ahead. And he says, "Look, all of you are afraid of this dragonborn. You don't have to be. She's got a good heart, and she's gonna help your people. I know it."
He does speak. He does speak the truth.
This guy. I don't need to check anymore.
Okay. Thank you for the follow, by the way. You've got Cal.
Okay. Vesemir rolled a 12 on his insight check.
You know the dude looks deadly serious, and he looks angry. He says, "I've been here for 1 day. I came through the portal just like I always do, once in a while. And what I found did not make me happy. My name's Croak. And I've been cooking up something special for these evil humans. So, if you want to let me loose, I can help." And he holds up
What we
something
would have to
special.
do to let you loose? What would that involve?
And he takes flight, removing himself from your shoulder, Havalar, to kind of like take command, take the stage, if you will, of the scene. And he says,
Is he this beam of light shining in
Yeah.
my?
says, "Hey, look, listen."
No. Triggered.
He says, "I got your get out of jail free cards right here." And he holds up 3 little teeny tiny things that nobody can actually see. And he says, "They're arrows. They're poisonous arrows. And they'll set the humans out cold. Just to sleep. Just in case any of them have a little shred of decency left. And if you decide they don't, at this point I'll let you finish them off once they're sleeping. But I'm just saying, I'll go with you all on whatever journey you want to go on. And if you need somebody to take a nap, all you got to do is whistle."
Okay, so we've got like 3 automatic takedowns. That's what you're telling me here, Croak.
That's what I'm telling you. And we'll see
Okay.
that the people of these Moonsiders get home safe.
Yes, noble cause indeed.
It's just going to
Well-
put them to sleep. I see. I see.
But
I've
we can
also-
kill them after.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's good.
I've also been in and out of their prisons.
Oh,
I can turn
intel.
invisible. Just it seemed like maybe you weren't sure of that.
You got any other hidden tricks, Croak, there you want to share with us?
I think between the flight, the invisibility, and my mastery with my weapons, got plenty of tricks.
Croak,
don't
I
need more
want to
than
ask
that.
you about one of the prisoners that they have. Have you seen a woman? And he describes what his mother looks like to the best of his abilities. Have you seen a woman that fits this description?
Based on how you describe her and what your folks here have been saying, it seems like they got her locked up special. She's okay, but she's in the prison on the 2nd level. They've built 2 levels of cages, and that's where most of these druids are located. And besides that, they've got everybody else chained up to pillars that support the entire structure. There's about 8 of these pillars, and each one holds between 6 and 8 prisoners chained up with their arms above their heads. Not very comfortable. They take them out in shifts to poop.
You see visible relief as he says that his the queen is okay, but
Oh,
obviously
I thought you
the
said
rest
that
of it.
they take them out
Right.
to poop.
Oh, thank God, pooping. Oh, yeah.
Because that would be
That's what I was
gross.
worried about.
That would be
Yeah.
disgusting.
Don't worry, I checked to make sure they poop outside, or else people would have went to sleep earlier.
Not helping if they don't poop outside. If they poop
No.
inside, I'm not going in.
A Sprite has its limits. It's not all lemon and limes.
All right. Well, Is there anything stopping us from just going over there right now and barging in and killing everyone?
Vesnir turns to Asara. How many of us remain?
Um, there's just over 60 left. Probably more than half of which are capable warriors. So let's say there's 40 archers slash, nimble fighters that you can add to your army if you choose to go full on assault mode. Havilar's face lit up.
I mean, listen, I'm ready to fight. You want me to
Amy
stick around?
heard full on assault mode and went,
So that's what we're doing, right? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of guards. Croak, can you? You've been in the prisons before. Do you know a way we can get in to free everyone?
there is a back door. It's guarded. It's not hidden, which would get you closer to the cages. Alternatively, if you bust through the side of the structure, you'll be in your family's cell before they know what hits you. The rest of the folks tied to the pillars will still need to be released. But I'm thinking you might be able to cause some havoc once you free your druid friends.
I propose that Havilar, Croak, and perhaps if there's like, oh, I guess they took their best warrior. So that
They took
Havilar,
the
Croak.
druids. You got some decent warriors out here.
So I imagine that like if you would to pick like a couple out, I would he'd probably say something like Havilar, Croak, couple
Bornik?
best warriors, and yeah, and I will take the back door, go after the queen and the druids, while the rest of you guys create a distraction, and eventually meeting back at the people who are tied to the pillars, and by then, hopefully, we'll have enough manpower to free the rest of them. What do you think,
Okay.
Havilar? Is that a good plan?
I like it. It sounds like gore and action and
Havilar?
freedom all
Havilar,
rolled
Havilar,
into.
come back to us.
Yes, that sounds. It's fine. I'm fine with that. That sounds fine.
Meanwhile, Mumps rakes in 20 gold that he just won in a poker game. Everybody's laughing, having a good time.
Just happy to be here.
Mumps has been handed an ale.
Mom's is like, why did I come here anyway? What were we
They
supposed to do
shout.
here?
Ed shouts, "Sing another song! Sing another song! Sing another song, Mumps!"
Look at him
All
go.
right. Yeah, you got it, buddy.
He'll sing a little ditty about portals.
Play Free
and-
Bird.
You
What was
wanna-
the wealthy orc in G minor or whatever from a couple episodes ago?
Oh, with the
the Bad King, I thought.
Jushin
Or that
didn't
was a
know.
different one, yeah.
The golem of something, yeah.
Well, sing your
That's a
portal.
song for
What's
a
your
different
portal
time.
ditty about? Yeah, this is the portal ditty song.
Oh, the people go into the portal and they come out somewhere else. And if they go back in the portal, they'll come back into that same place that they were before. And because that's how portals work, you go in and out free as you please. Everybody!
The people go into the portal.
Yeah, they do.
They come out somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
And if you go into the portal, then you come out somewhere else. And that's what happens with portals.
Close enough. Wow, you've been a
Yay.
great crowd, everybody. Woo. Good stuff.
All right. Mumps, you look around and there's a lot of people captivated by your showmanship in this group. There's somebody who's definitely not, and he's beginning to approach because you're like drawing a crowd of beleaguered workers, and somebody begins to approach. He's got long white hair, and he wears fancy silk and whatever else clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh no, it's the man.
it's the man. He's got a little cane, little walking stick, and he walks up, and I have a picture of him where his eyes are glowing, but his eyes are not glowing, and they actually don't glow. So disregard that. But he does
Ooh.
have kind of little gold ornamental tattoos on either side of his eyes. Um, and he approaches with a very stern look on his face, and he says, "Who is this halfling?"
Hi. My name is Mumps. Pleasure to meet you. You are?
"I'm Mr. Highmore. And you are on your way where?"
Uh, yeah. Well, when my friends get here, we're gonna go through the portal, and then we're gonna be on our merry way.
"You're going into the portal,
Uh huh.
and you've already paid for
Uh
this
huh.
little adventure."
You know it.
Let's make a deception check for me real quick.
Ooh.
Can I?
Right. We'll be right back.
All right. Well, let me try the deception
Okay.
check first, and then see how that goes. But, deception.
Oops. Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be
deception.
deception is gonna be 13.
Okay.
But depending how this goes, I would like to appeal to Ed.
Oh,
So we'll
gotcha,
see.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Ed's passed out next to you. No. Sorry. When Vestinger left, my my faces got moved, but that's okay. um. Okay. So, just making sure I get back to my thing.
Sorry
Okay,
about
there
that.
it is. No, you're good. You please. Okay. Um. I think maybe Vess is on a wireless headset and then unmuted to say sorry about that, and then went back to mute, which is pretty funny and appropriate. Okay.
Whoops.
Mumps. Mr. Highmore doesn't look convinced, and you appeal to Ed like with your eyes, like hey buddy.
Is it? Yeah, cause we've been paid for it, and Ed here knows all about it. So do
And by now, I'm assuming I would have learned the 3 other names, the people who were also
Yeah, they all
like we've
rhyme
been
with
telling.
Ed, but I couldn't think of them, so you should think of them real quick.
Ed, Jed, Zed, and Ved. They're all here, and they all know exactly what's going on. We're all, just hanging out, having a good time, waiting for my friends to show up.
Mm-hmm. Um, and Ed tries to chime in and back up your story, but Lex just raises a finger like this, and he's totally silent, and so is everybody else that was just like kind of laughing a moment ago. And he says, "The thing about it is, you've been waiting too long for passage, so we're gonna need to charge you again. This isn't free lodging. This is a place where people come to go, not where they come to stay."
Ooh, that sounds great. Yeah, place to go. Do you have a bathroom I could use really quick? So sorry about that. But we've been drinking a lot of good stuff out here. Do you have a bathroom I could use? In that
And
house right behind you, maybe?
and a couple of Lex's guards from said house are right at his back, and they're looking just as stern and mean as he is at this time. And he says, "I do not have a bathroom you can use, but if you just pay the toll," and he like glances at your winnings, "and 500 gold pieces, you can step through the portal and be on your way."
Ooh, you know, 500. It's very reasonable for 3 people and a donkey. But you see, the winnings here that I have is it doesn't quite get there. But I'll give you all of them if that's what you're looking at. It's just this bag right here.
"I'll take the bag for now, and then what we'll do is set you up somewhere where you can stay until your friends arrive with the rest of your toll. So do you want to come with my friends, and we'll show you your new break room?
Mumps drops the bag of gold down his pants because he doesn't know, but he figures that Lex isn't going to reach in there and grab it. He goes,
Oh yeah, break room. Sure, yeah, that sounds nice. I do still need that bathroom though. Does the break room have a toilet in it?
Is it number 1 or number 2?
Oh, it's gonna be a big number two. Sorry about that. I had the lunch I had before I got here. You would not believe, and I should probably get it all out too, because I don't know what portal travel
At
does to
this,
insides.
Lex just starts to walk away, and he mutters something into the ear of one of the men, and the four of them are going to surround you and start to escort you towards the bathroom.
nice.
In the meantime, Vestanir and Havilar, you guys are making battle plans. What was the group that Havilar is commanding? Hold on, I mixed up your faces again. Who does that consist of? I'm trying to remember exactly what you guys' plan was. Vest, could you?
So, I had the idea of one group sneaking in to free the queen and the druids, and then the other group to kind of launch a distracting assault on, he said that there was a wall
Yeah. So which
that,
group is which?
well, I would definitely, I and Croak would be, and perhaps some of the stronger, the two or three strongest, maybe one or two, depending on how strong, of the strongest warriors that we have remaining, and then
Got it.
Havilar, would you prefer to be part of the assault team or the stealth team? Which do you think your skills would be more suited for?
Now, Vestanir, I want to take insult at that question because I think you very well know which one. But I will be on the assault team because Havilar's too excited. She can't be upset at this
He
point.
uh, he smirks and nods and says, "Excellent. I was hoping for that." So Havilar will lead the assault, and I will with Croak, and would Asara be one of those people?
Yeah, Sarah can definitely be sneaky with you.
All
How
right.
many do you want with you, Vess? Just the two of you and the invisible guy?
This is where Vestanir's strategy skills outnumber Sean's. um, let's see. What would be the best, I think, for this? I don't know.
I feel like
I
you're
think you
small. You
guys,
want,
yeah, keep it small,
yeah.
keep it
All
tight.
right. So yeah, Asara and Croak
All right.
will comprise the stealth group.
And then Havilar, is it a full force of like the 40 remaining going with Havilar? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, war? Oh man, this is
War.
like a battle. All right.
So, all right. So the troops are in line, everybody's arrows are ready, and you're going to step out of the burrow and into the open. Okay. Now, I guess Croak would suggest a head start for the stealth team so that they'll be roughly in position when the diversion begins.
Indeed. And even they need how confident are you that you can get into your spot without like somebody no I yes I they should have a head start, they should get into position, and then when they need to a distraction we should attack, I think, right?
So, what about a bird call? One of those convenient
Yes.
moonsider bird calls
Hmm.
once you've breached the walls,
Yes,
which aren't.
definitely. I would imagine that whoever is second in command could kind of alert Havilar in case. I mean, and, I'm sure Havilar would notice, but in case she doesn't, that would
Okay.
be because I'm not sure how perceptive she would have to be. But I feel like if she's purposely listening for it, then I feel like
All right.
she would hear it.
can hear a bird call.
Yeah.
My
All right,
ears
cool.
are.
You've heard
just
it a few
fine.
times today too.
I've heard it a few
three
times
already.
today.
Excellent.
All right. So Vess, you and Asara and Croak the sprite. He flickers into invisibleness, and you just hear the faintest flutter of wings near your head as you begin your stealthy voyage into the camp below. Havilar, you and the troops are lined up next to the burrow, keeping to the cover of the trees, planning to approach the tallest wall. It's like a wall and tower section at the near the top of the ridge that overlooks the rest of the lake. So your squad will be hitting that first, thus giving you basically an eagle eye view of the rest of what's going on.
Perfection.
Okay. And in the meantime, Mumps, are you pooping?
I mean, it was really just the only thing he could think of to try and not get thrown into a shady situation. But now he thinks about it, he could probably go. Yeah.
I don't know those
Okay.
travel rations. I'm not sure how easily they're gonna pass there.
Yeah. So Mumps, you've been brought to basically an outhouse by 4 heavily armed guards, and I want to say they like throw you into it and then stand outside the doors on all 4 sides of the little building. What do you do after you poop? You don't have to describe that in detail if you don't.
You know me so well because I was going
We've
to
had whole
describe,
description
not
already.
in super gross detail, but at least enough to sell that I was pooping
Yeah.
for the guards to.
But you are pooping, or are you not?
No, he just
Okay.
did a quick number 1 just to get ready, and then was like, "Well, I don't want to leave this outhouse. Let me stay and think of a plan." But of course,
Got it.
to buy time for the plan, he's got to
Yeah.
really pretend that he's pooping.
Okay. That should really be where you begin the assault in the next episode.
From the outhouse.
Yeah. You just hear an explosion of some kind. And I want to say that we should just end it there.
Battle positions in place.
Yeah.
Battle position.
A not
Okay.
quite determined amount of time after the 2 of you launch your missions, and Mumps is in the outhouse thinking out a plan, dropping a bomb, if you will. You hear a outhouse shaking explosion from somewhere in the camp. And
That's the signal.
My brain was like, "Oh yeah, he's just in the outhouse trying to think of a plan." But to sell it to the guards, he's pooping. He like does the cantrip mage hand, and just the hand plops just every once in a while, just so that the guards
Gross.
think.
You're
just
gonna
so
get
the
your
guards
mage
think
hand
something's
dirty.
Ugh.
It's a mage hand. It'll just
Oh,
be magically
forever unclean. Forever unclean. I would never use mage hand again after doing that trick. I'd be like, I don't
It's
know.
just not gonna come out.
Like, I need to do a cleanse of some kind.
No prestidigitation is gonna fix that. No.
All right. That's all we have for today, folks. We're gonna save the rest. It's 8:30 is our cutoff, so I don't want to get into too much. We'll see what happens in the next exciting
Much battling.
adventure. Yeah, with the
This is so exciting. I can't wait to.
yeah. It's been a good amount of time since Havilar's been able to rip somebody to shreds. I feel like
It has. It has been too long. I got to do something with these dice so they start rolling better. Maybe I'll get me some new dice by then.
Well, thank you everybody for coming and exploring the 5th Tower and Silverlight and Highmore Tribor, Highmore City.
Also, I want to say Lex Highmore, he's like he's cool. Like he's a villain, but he's like really cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, he's really cool.
I am scared of him. I was
Oh
scared.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He's scary.
Good. That's good. You should be. And we'll find out just why in the next episode. But for now, everybody, thank you so much for watching our show. If you haven't done so yet, give us a follow. We're trying to get Mumpsy Boy a follow. He's prepared a special dance. He's been working on it for years. And thanks everybody for watching, and thanks everybody for playing. You guys are hilarious. It's always a pleasure to play with you. And I should maybe hide Alexa's face and put on something nice like Durban.
Yeah, Durban.
And we've got 7 minutes left. You guys want to play like Scrabble or something real like just like a quick game of Risk?
Scrabble. I've
I
never
was-
heard of quick
I was
Scrabble.
going to say a quick game of Risk.
Quick game of
Even-
Monopoly, you know.
Yeah, even longer than Risk in some cases. Yeah.
All right.
Just a quick Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say a quick Fury of Dracula. Anybody?
Mm.
Anybody? Fury of Dracula.
You've told me about it, but
it's a
we
good
haven't.
game.
I've never played it. Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
Mumps and Havilar were to play Dungeons and Dragons, and then we have a
Ooh.
metagame?
Whoa.
Havilar would
Months.
get
Whoa.
mad because they'd miss a swing, and she'd be like, "I never miss. What are you talking about?"
I don't ever miss a natural one. That doesn't make any sense.
I've always wanted to have a game where the final villain is the DM, and it's like people realizing that they're in a tabletop game. And
Super
Horrifying.
meta.
I know it's your characters
Havilar would
being like,
not.
wait a second, like you have a vision and you see yourself like you're plastic and you're like on a board and like, wait, what's going on? And there's big giants all standing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, that's not gonna happen in Roll for It,
Psychic
but
damage.
yeah.
Too strong.
Anyway, happy
I mean, as
birthday,
the camera pans
everybody.
up from our podcast, you see that people are playing us, and then there's like actual giants playing Sean and Amy.
That's
and
probably how
Kyle.
the D&D movie is gonna end. That's coming out soon
Oh, that's, we
Hopefully.
can all hope. We can all hope.
in March-ish.
They better
Um,
not ruin it. I'm gonna
okay.
be sad.
I'm out of here. You guys can stay if you want, but I'm leaving early.
Well,
All right, so
alright.
each of us gets 7 tiles.
I don't think Settlers of Catan is that slow of a game once you know how to play it. It becomes pretty quick relative to like, other games. But I guess I'm alone in that thought.
I'm trying to. It
You must
depends on
play
the
with a
amount
lot of
people.
intelligent people because,
Yeah.
yeah. I've had to explain.
Sean, did you just tell us that all of your friends are dumb?
I don't play guitar with my friends because I want to stay friends with them, so I don't play
Got
guitar
you,
with
got
them.
you.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Awesome. All right, some magic items happened today. Some exploration and some bad guys were circumvented and then are now being
Poop
addressed.
near.
Yeah, poop's near. All right.
Oh, we
That's
didn't.
clearly the most important thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
We didn't find number 54 monster. Does that mean number
That
54
was
monster?
that was the
maybe-
sprite.
Number 4 is the sprite. Yes.
Oh snap! Not a monster.
An
I was wondering about
ally.
that
Yeah.
because I was like, this is very unusual. For
It
It
was.
said
him
it
to
on
appear
the.
film.
It was
thing.
basically all written, and then I was like, we need to add a sprite to this. And I know
that
just how to
was
do it.
fun.
And his name's Croak, and I'm a little bit inspired by the Frog Brothers of what's it called? The Lost Boys, which I don't know if you guys
The
have seen
vampire
that.
movie from the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like these frog brothers who are like adolescents, and they kind of their name is Frog. That's their last name. And they are like vampire hunters, but they're like 11 years old. And I don't know. There's just part of me that's like Croak is like a badass in a little tiny body.
Got a little bit of
Yeah.
a southern accent too, doesn't he?
He's got some
Did I pick that up?
some groggle. I don't know.
I
Maybe.
also do not remember that plot line.
I black
in-
out when I become
Ah.
a character.
Mhm.
Like Jim Carrey.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. time to hang up and everybody go to bed and have a wonderful evening.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Farewell. Bye, Sean. Bye, moms. I forgot your real name, Kyle.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
I roll for it.